What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks here on Scores and Odds. If you haven't already signed up for it yet, or if you're watching in some other weird place, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Scores and Odds. Subscribe, follow over on Twitter, subscribe to Twitch if you even know what that is. I have no idea what that is, but we are going to be breaking down all my favorite bets of the day. Not a huge day in basketball. We're probably going to get into football as some big news dropped over in Denver, where I am very conflicted. We'll get more of that in a second. But again, if you haven't signed up for Scores and Odds, go sign up. If you have access to Discord right now, I'm pretty sure it's down at the moment. But when it's back live, not our fault, Discord's fault. Join Grant's Action Lounge. Go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Get in there. I'm posting all my picks every single day. It's going to be free for next week, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. We're still figuring that out. Could be just throwing bets in there. Got slaughtered last night. Let's see exactly what happened. Probably should enhance this since you guys.
I was surprised you asked me to come back. I didn't think we did I think we didn't do very good. You want to call me the returning champion, I suppose, but by default. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how
I'm still sitting.
Go ahead.
I'm still sitting at like a 7% ROI on the month. People have one bad day. Like I've had 2 bad days this month, and I've had more than enough good days to make up for it. It's how gambling works. Just think about a blackjack table. You can play 50 hands and lose $500 on $100 bets. Does that mean you made some bad moves if you're a card counter? No, it's just things ebb and flow. If you're working at a 6% margin, you're going to have bad days. So it happens. We go back to the grind. It is what it is. But yeah, no, we're going to be breaking things down. But I just mostly want to talk about the Russell Wilson news.
Well, you're a special circumstance because you are you're from Washington, the state of Washington. You're a Seattle fan, and now you're currently living in Colorado, around the Denver area. So like it's very specific to you.
Yeah. Well, also I put like a G down on the Broncos. I tried to put several thousand more down as soon as the news broke, and every single site yanked it as soon as I got there. Like I did the exact wrong order that I should have done. Like went over to DK. Pressed it, went to press enter, went down. Went over to FanDuel, pressed enter, went down right at that moment. Went over to FoxBet, went over to Caesars, then went over to Win. All of them took it down at the exact moment I was about to place it. So I would have just gone in the opposite order. I would have been able to get a few grand down. But you know what? Things happen. It's not great. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is.
How do you train your brain like that, by the way? It's just, obviously since sports betting has become legal, you're in Colorado. You've been doing it for what, maybe a year and a half? I don't know how long has sports betting been a thing?
It was 2020, so just under 2 years. The first event that I actually bet on was, I guess, July 2020 was when I really got into it. That was right when basketball and baseball went back, so about 2 years.
So, like, the point I'm getting at is, like, if you would have heard this news 2 years ago, like something of the silk, something similar. But, you just sort of say, oh, that's an interesting trade. And how does that work out for Denver? And how does that work? But now, like, how quickly does your brain turn from, oh, wow, Russ is on down Denver. So, like, oh, wow, I need to log into every single site possible and hammer Denver. Is that like 3 seconds?
Almost immediately, yeah.
Yeah, it's just wild how that works. That's just interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally my job. It's second nature at this point. Yeah, and then like I'm kind of interested to see Drew Lock in Seattle.
Oh, is he part of the deal?
It looks like it. Yeah, getting Shelby Harris.
I hope he's good at handing the ball off.
Yeah, I know that's all he needs to do. I'm kind of hoping they bring back Rashad Penny, because why not?
If given the choice, Grant, if you want to keep franchise quarterback, potential top 5, top 7 quarterback, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that pre-show, or the 70-year-old coach who's stuck in 1968 chomping on his gum. Who do you just got to keep? You got to keep the coach, right?
I think Pete Carroll is a great coach. Should not be in charge of play calling. Like that like Pete Carroll, if he had like Josh McDaniels as his OC, Seahawks could have gone to the Super Bowl. Like that's what I'm convinced by.
Well, then what is he doing? Like you're talking about good at communicating, and like he's 70 years old, but the players, at least peripherally, seem to like him. He seems to have like a good rapport with them, and he's like a young 70s out there surfing still, I believe. So like, I guess the kids they can relate to him whatever best can for a 70-year-old. But yeah, I just I don't understand. Like again, I'm sure there's more to it and money to it and picks and all that kind of stuff. But the NFL, when you get a franchise quarterback, it is really precious, and you're not really supposed to trade those away.
Yeah, no, I mean, but Russell Wilson clearly wasn't happy. I mean, what pick does Denver have in the draft this year?
I have no idea, but I see there's tweets all let's see, they're talking about obviously there's some picks involved, but yeah, I could.
Well, I mean, Denver is what, 5th? So let's see, 9th. 9th isn't bad.
They weren't that terrible.
Yeah, they got rid of the 9th. They probably gave up like first round pick this year, next year, the year after. I assume, like, I can't remember what picks they got in the Von Miller trade, but I don't know. I'm excited to see it, but I mean, we should probably get into some basketball, shouldn't we?
Hey, we're talking about we want to gamble today, not like 8 months from now, right? Well, we're gonna do that also, but yeah.
So it's interesting. I want to check out the futures odds if they're back up over on. We'll just look at DK because I think I saw them at about 9-1. NFL, where are you at? Football. NFL futures. Broncos are 12-1 over on FanDuel.
Was that changed or is that closed and open back up?
That's open back up. They were 22-1.
Okay.
I think they had a roller coaster today. Like as soon as Aaron Rodgers signed, it's like, all right, we can raise the odds back up. They're not getting him. And then as soon as Russell Wilson gets traded, like, oh, we got to shoot him right back down. Because I think they were like 15-1 and then went to 30-1 or 22-1 and then they went down to 12-1. Now it looks like.
What's the next the chip to fall? Is there one like a Trubisky? Like what's left? And I'm not somebody that like follows the NFL year round. Like I'm not the guy that like I'm obsessing over like hand sizes for draft picks. That's not me. You do you if that's your thing. Enjoy it. Have at it. But like what's out there that's left as far as big storylines in the offseason? Do you know?
I mean, Devontae Adams, I'm guessing is going to get tagged. So
yeah, I
assume that he'll be there. Mike Williams just got signed. Calvin Ridley obviously done for the season. So like a lot of the big news stuff is kind of done for unless we get some random trade. I mean, who knows?
Man, I feel bad for Metcalf and he's just gonna rot in Seattle, right? Like they're not gonna pass them. I mean, is that what they're just gonna do? Is just keep running the ball and like living like it's 1972? Like it's just I
mean, they'll still probably end up passing to him, but all you best ball guys, like yeah. I mean, who knows? They might I don't know enough about college football that I don't really know if there's a great QB that they could potentially get.
Same.
But yeah, I don't know. Let's get into the basketball. I mean, we got 6 games. That's what people are here for, some bets. We'll start off with Phoenix, Orlando. I had a few. I like Jay Crowder over points. 11.5 seems too low with everything. Jay Crowder over points plus rebounds. I mean, again, he's getting 5 rebounds on a fairly consistent basis. There's no Devin Booker. There's no Chris Paul, so the points should end up being there too. I think both of those are pretty solid line. I bet Franz Wagner over 0.5 blocks.
See, that's the one that you throw me off because I'm just like,
I don't expect you to know about that.
I don't have a hot take on his block potential.
Oh yeah, no, like those ones, like the off the board ones, I'm not really expecting you to even say anything about it. But I mean, look at his game log. He's had 1 in each of the last 2 games. It's match versus Phoenix. They're not really great right now. Plus 210 seems a little bit too low here. So
he's projected for what it's worth for 0.28 blocks, according to RG.
Yeah, I'm a little bit higher, I guess, than RG's, but
yeah.
DeAndre Ayton under 1.5 assists, one of my favorite bets on a regular basis.
You love that bet.
Yeah,
his potential assists are like 1 per game, right?
Well, it's 2 last. Let's see. Let's look at the last 10 games. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 4.
Are those potential assists or are those assists?
Those are actual assists.
Okay.
I mean, so I'm getting it plus 130, which over at Bet Rivers seems ridiculous to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's just a bad line. I don't know. That could just be me.
Orlando, I think it's worth noting. Orlando wants that. I would assume they want the number one pick. They're well on pace. They're currently tied with Houston. I mean, I don't want to get into a whole tankathon conversation, but Orlando and Houston are currently the worst teams in the league record-wise, 16-49, and we have 17 games left. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, theoretically, they probably shouldn't want to win. Marco Fultz is going to play today. He's not going to play tomorrow. And Jalen Suggs did not participate at shoot-around, game time decision. In my brain, I hear that Fultz is going to play today, Suggs is going to rest, and they're going to flip-flop tomorrow. That's my thought process. But I don't know if does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, but Fultz probably still isn't going to play over, 20 minutes?
No, I'm just my thought is basically I think Suggs doesn't play, and maybe that lifts Anthony a little bit. But Fultz obviously pushes them down a little also. I think the more interesting thing, what do we have for campaign? Could they make his numbers high enough? Because since coming back, obviously it's basically his show. He's running the show in the absence of Paul, in the absence of Booker. He's played 20 minutes, and then the first game back he played 20. I think he got all the way up to 35, 36 or something like that. And obviously the matchup against Orlando is pretty clean.
I mean, his line's sitting between 17.5 and 19.5, depending on which site you look at. Heavy Juice, obviously, on the 17.5, sitting at minus 150 over at MGM, minus 130 over on Maxim Bet, minus 133 on the under of 19.5 on Fox Bet, but the even money bet is 18.5. We currently have him projected for 20.93. I think it's interesting. Let's see if this it popped up.
I like the over on that. I mean, what was the number at 17.5? What was the odds for you to lay?
Minus 130. So you're probably just going with the over 18.5 at minus 108 would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, the minutes are no longer an issue. They kind of gave him those 5 or 6 minute spurts when he came back, but now we're 3 games in, and he got the 36 last time out. At some point, well, again, looking at the standings, how much do you know this? I don't look at the standings a ton until about this point in the season, right? But Phoenix is 8 games ahead of everybody in the West, which is just crazy. That's amazing. I know they've been good this year, obviously, but that's just kind of crazy to see.
The wild thing is 7-9 in the last, or 7-3 in the last 10 games. I mean, without Paul and without Booker for a lot of it. I've got some money on the Suns to win the championship, mostly because of boosts. But
this is why I should give you your props. But I'm pretty sure I made fun of you. I don't know if made fun of you is the right way of saying it. As far as using some of your stuff on Memphis, I think you got some really good odds at Memphis, right?
Yeah, I have 75-1.
Yeah, I think I'll say publicly I was wrong on that one. I mean, you can hedge out of that and you basically guarantee yourself a win, I suppose. Pretty good shot they win their first round matchup as well. I think we'll see.
What are they're saying at 25-1, and then even what's Cleveland sitting at now? Cleveland's at 61. I got 150-1 on Cleveland. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think that one's going to happen, but obviously in theory, it's a good number.
Yeah, but Memphis can win. Memphis can absolutely win it.
The whole thing, the ship.
Yep.
Maybe.
I mean, there seems to be a team every single year that comes out of nowhere. It's really unexpected. I mean, last year it was Atlanta. They almost made it to the ship. Year before it was Miami. Memphis is that team this year.
Yeah, I mean, the bubble thing is kind of an anomaly. I mean, weird things happened there, but yeah, I hear you. And yeah, I mean, have you thought that far ahead as far as potentially hedging out? They make it to the second round, or that's not something you get to in your head?
I mean, I was talking to someone last night at the Nuggets game, prop shop or prop swap is a potential one. I have a lot of, I don't know. I have a few free bets. Let me see. I can probably pull them up here on the screen. But it's I don't want to use a cash out. I don't want to hedge really. Like the best thing I can do, I think, is sell off some of my equity for way less as soon as the playoff starts. I mean, Memphis being number 2 seed, as soon as we see who's in the play-in spot, how terrible they are. Like I'm pretty sure they make it out of the whatever it's called.
They can fall back for what it's worth. Like it's jammed between Memphis, Golden State, Utah, Dallas, Denver. Like it's all pretty clustered, but they probably have a home. They probably have the home. Start the home series like the 3 or the 4, possibly the 2. Draymond's coming back soon for Golden State in theory, so maybe they catch him. But yeah.
So I mean, I have a bunch of these $22 free bets, 22 to win 1,500. I mean, I could potentially sell some of those off. I don't know. Let's see. I feel like I got a big bet somewhere else that I'm just going to keep. Like,
so there's a secondary market you're talking about, the site where you can sell your props off.
Yeah.
And what they take like a small cut, I guess. Is that how that works? To kind of meet.
I assume so. Yeah.
Interesting. It's a bet, but it's a better number than what the site is offering you, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I got
as far as the cash out option.
Mobley bet here to win Rookie of the Year. Shout out to you for actually getting me onto that.
I got something right. Look at that. Well, we'll see. That's not happened just yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of Jokic to win the MVP. Just $400 on it, $500 on it, 16 to 1. Free bet at 16 to 1. Free bet at 16 to 1.
2-man race. Right? It's at this point. It's Embiid or Jokic.
I mean, I have some money on like longer odds, but yeah, it's looking like it. I mean, Embiid, I think took a step forward. He's sitting at minus 120. There's a decent chance down the road. I just put like $4,000 on Embiid to win.
There's a hedge.
Yeah, because I mean, I've already got some on Morant, some on DeRozan, some on Giannis, some on Luka. Stayed away from Curry, Booker, Durant. I don't think any of them are even going to come close. Rookie of the Year, I mean, Mobley's got that locked up.
Hero lock 6-man, not even a conversation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought Love might make a push, but
I thought so too. But I mean, you look at, I mean, the odds are insane too. I'm sure you've seen the odds in that too.
Yeah.
But you got to see the potential, at least the reigning MVP, potential back-to-back MVP last night. What are your takeaways?
I mean, dude's really good. Like, really good. What was it? 31, 13, and 12?
It was, something like that. It was really, really good. And it was a game, though, it was worse than his last game, for what it's worth. But, yeah. Did you happen to, because you're at the game, did you have to bet, like, triple-double or overs and stuff like that? And
I didn't. I forgot to, and I was distracted, and I had to drive up there, and it was snowing, and I didn't even get drunk. I didn't even drink up there the game, surprisingly enough.
Weren't you in the suite? Yeah. They don't take care of you?
They had an open bar, but it was snowing. My fiance was with me. I'm like, you have a few drinks. Like,
she had a good time?
Drinks, I'll drive. I mean, she didn't go overboard, but yeah, if it were me, she would have been driving, then I would have been like, okay, I'm getting hammered.
Yeah, but she enjoys the basketball.
I mean, she had fun. It was interesting, like seeing all the people, like, because obviously people know me at the DK Suites.
Oh, you're like a celebrity there.
I mean, not quite a celebrity, but there's definitely a
like.
And like the guy Zach, the guy that's on Fridays on this show, he joined me, and then another guy that I see at a few events, he was there. So like, I know some people there, but.
Is Discord down so they can't like be like, hey, give us the picks? Like, stop with this messing around. We just want the picks, man. Stop that it's nonsense.
Yeah, Discord is down. Any thoughts on KD over 41 PRA is projected for around 46? I haven't bet it yet. Did I bet Durant over? I feel like I bet Kyrie's over. I didn't bet Durant over yet.
I don't mind it. It's 2-man.
Yeah. It's saying at minus 115 over on MGM, minus 120 over on TK. I'm probably going to hit that after the show.
We're assuming Durant is like a full go, right? Like he came back and he's just good. He played 39 minutes and 35 minutes. His first 2 games back.
Yeah.
Like, it's like nothing ever happened, I think.
Yeah, it's against Charlotte. Yeah, I'm definitely
awesome.
I might hit points, honestly. Durant saying at 29.5. Minus 106 on Bet Rivers. I'm hitting points. Yeah, might as well hit that. We'll talk about that. We're at that game right now. So I definitely like the Kyrie overs on everything. I like the Kyrie over on points, point rebounds, assists. Let's see. Kevin Durant,
how do you feel about the
over.
thought process of like playing both Kyrie and Durant? And it's almost kind of like insurance because, like, in theory, like at least one of them's going to get there. Possibly both, like we saw last night, like RJ Barrett and Randall. Because I was thinking about this last night for New York, and I was thinking, why not just smash both Randall and Barrett, and like one of them is going to get. And it's a similar situation as far as it's two guys that are going to shoot, and there's other dudes that's on the court just going to be chilling. And that's the story in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
To an even greater extreme, obviously, with Kyrie and KD. Like, I suppose this game can be like a 30-point blowout, and then neither one gets there, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think that is, like a general thought process?
Yeah, I don't hate that. Like, decent chance you hit both. Like, I do that a lot with. Oh, nice, my bet went through. I do that a lot with. I was doing that a lot with Phoenix, with Ayton, with Booker, and with Paul. Like, 2 out of 3 hit almost every single night. Is Booker projected to play today?
No. Wait. Well, actually, you know what? It was a COVID issue, so maybe he could have feel better now. That's a good point. He might be back at some point, but to my knowledge,
it said Booker's has been ruled out Tuesday against the Magic. Yeah, no, I'm because Bet Rivers has a lineup for him. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, what else did I bet in this game? It's Charlotte. I bet Durant. I bet Kyrie. Both Kyrie lines. I feel like there's another bet.
Not to cut you off, the way. Here's the official trade according to Schefter. Seattle gets Drew Lock, Noah Fant. Albert O season. Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th. So it's a pretty good haul. And I think Russ was only signed for 2 more years. Is that right? Maybe.
Yep.
I mean, considering, like, generally speaking, when you're trading an elite quarterback, we're assuming Russ is still elite. You're going to be on the wrong end of it and just kind of do the best you can. But
I mean, honestly, like, Seattle now has Metcalf, Lockett, and Noah Fant. Like, that's if they can draft a good young quarterback, rebuild's not actually bad for him.
So here's the thing: is Drew Lock like the 8 seed in the NBA, where he's like the 24th best quarterback, where he's just good enough to keep his job, but not completely horrendous, where you feel like you have to replace him immediately?
I mean, he's got upside. He's got some upside. Like, yeah. I mean, his footwork is kind of trash. But he could potentially do some things. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. This is mostly what I hear from other people. Like, oh, he still has a bunch of potential.
I've seen that too. Yeah, we follow the same people, and
yeah.
There's some Drew Lock apologists out there.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see, but I'm not really expecting Drew Lock to be great. We'll see. I also bet Andre Drummond under 1.5 blocks/steals. Saying it plus 134. There was one other thing.
So Aldridge not playing, I guess that doesn't scare you away.
Blocks plus steals doesn't. Really
I'm just saying, as far as being how much he's not going to get a ton of usage out there with Durant and Kyrie, but I'm just trying to think how many minutes we think Drummond's going to play, just kind of being out there on the court. They do have other big dudes. You can play smaller against Charlotte. I mean, they have Claxton lurking. They have, Blake is still there. James Johnson. I don't know. I don't know how many minutes Drummond's going to play. Basically, what are we even projected for? My guess would be like 24. That's
actually I have under of 8.5 points, even with LMA. I still don't think that's bad. I mean, it's not going to get. I mean, the minutes might be there.
23 is our projection right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They're not going to give him much more than that. 8.5 points. Like, he's not really scoring much with KD and Durant there. He's mostly just there for the boards. So yeah, I mean, I bet the under on points. I'm sticking to that. Sitting at minus 110 still over on DK, but not a bad overall bet there.
What do you have on the Charlotte side?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's weird. I was looking at it too, and everybody's just, their numbers are all basically what they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look to see if there's anything that looks at least enticing. I mean, Rozier over 20.5 points. I mean, the juice is too heavy on the over there for me to really love it. Yeah, no, I'm kind of just out on the rest of the stuff. Yeah, let's move on to the next game. We got Cleveland going up against Indy. I like Brogdon over 19.5 points. Fox bet has the best line at -105. I hit there, and then I hit at -110 over on DK. I think that's pretty solid. I think he should do some heavy lifting here. Okoro over 1.5 assists. I think I got it at you have no idea about that. I got it plus 130. And I mean, looking at his assist line, 1 3 0 1 3 0 2 0 4 1 3. Like he's hitting it almost every other time. So getting that plus odds, I have it roughly at a 50% hit rate. So I've decided why not. Plus 130 is too high of a line there. Definitely end up liking that. Garland over 23.5 points, something I hit pretty consistently. Indy probably going to be a high scoring game. It's in Indy, so I expect it to be closer. I mean, looking at team total 113 for Cleveland is pretty high, and 3-point spread pretty tight. I think Garland's a pretty solid overplay there. Outside of that, not really a ton to love. Just kind of out on everything else. You got anything in this game?
I mean, it's worth saying Indiana's defense has been horrific, especially on the inside. I thought Jared Allen would be a really good play here. Of course, he's out with his finger. You want players that can kind
of. I looked into Mobley.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. And Mobley's just, I mean, I was looking at the court IQ stuff, and I was kicking, Allen and Sexton off the court, and they get slight little bumps, but nothing crazy. And Mobley is just like, he doesn't take many bad shots. Like, he's not as aggressive as maybe you want him to be. He's almost like too unselfish and too much of a good team player, whatever you want to say. But like, he does get a slight bump, and I think he's kind of interesting. But I would imagine they adjusted his number a little bit.
It's sitting at 17.5. It was at 16.5 at one point today. You can get it plus 100. I think it offers a very small amount of plus positive EV, but not something I really love. This is an interesting line here.
Speaking of Love, do you like Kevin Love tonight? They did start Jetty Osman in the second half in the absence of Allen, and I assume Love's not going to start again. But I think at least the door is open for a few extra more minutes here, and we know the matchup's pretty good against Indiana. How do you feel about Kevin Love?
I mean, he could end up with a few extra points. What's his They generally don't have his line out a ton. They don't have his line out at all. What do you think? I'm looking at this one. Kyrie Irving over 1.5 or 2.5 turnovers.
I feel like LaMelo is one of the better steal players in the league, and he gambles enough that, at least his fouls would suggest that. Isn't LaMelo a good stealer?
Yeah, he's one of the better guys in the league. Saying it plus 155. I'm hitting it.
I like the juice on that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Brogdon thing is wild, right? Because he's for multiple games this year, he's left. He couldn't play full 4 quarters, left due to injury. Indiana, obviously they're a dead team. They're going nowhere. They don't have a shot at the play-in stuff. They're not even close to 10. And they are playing him ridiculous minutes again, just yellowing it. He saw he played 41 minutes the other day in that overtime game, and since then, 36 and 35.
Yeah, 27 and 26 points. I mean,
he's looked awesome. He's a great.
Yeah, and his line sitting at 20. It just seems silly to me.
I like the over. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is unless otherwise noted, it seems like Indiana's just screw it, go out there, have a good time. And it's an island game. They didn't play yesterday. They're not playing tomorrow. So I'm with you on Brogdon. I think Brogdon's actually a good play. The Cleveland defense is a little less daunting these days, right? So I'm good with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go with the alt overs, but because it's up against Cleveland, but it's pretty solid. Next one, we got New Orleans versus Memphis here. First bet I like is Ja Morant under 5.5 rebounds. That was something Scores and Odds got me onto. We have him projected at 4.2.
Steven Adams taking them all?
Huh?
Is Steven Adams taking them all? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a high number. McCollum over 22.5 points. I'm guessing that line is moved with Ingram now questionable.
It's probably off the board, right?
It's 23.5, so it moved 1 point. Like I still like it at 23.5. Like it's a solid line here. Outside of that, not really a ton to love in this spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we saw Ingram about a half hour ago or so just drop the Q tag on him. What is his official body part? He's got a hamstring, so he's questionable. And I was running some stuff, and of course McCollum is going to see a burst in his usage if Ingram is not played tonight. So if you want to, I think he's fine as is. Like McCollum's fine over 22.5. As is if Ingram plays, and I think I feel really good about it if he doesn't go. By the way, Memphis, better defensive team this year than I thought they were. I was just kind of looking at the defensive metrics before the show.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, in my head, I thought they're like a little bit more vulnerable defensively, but not so much. Pretty solid defensively. Of course, what helps in DFS, and that's kind of where my brain first goes, is they play at a fast pace. So
yeah,
it's helpful. More possessions, obviously, but. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you got anything else, or should we move to the next game?
I was going to ask if you had anything on Steven Adams, because just the way he's been playing of late has been I'm sure the books have adjusted to it. You're going to need his size, you're going to need his girth against Valanciunas on the other side. But, he's just been fabulous. It's so weird to see how good he's been of late.
I mean, yeah, he just fits that team perfectly. I mean, if I was going to go anything, I'd probably go over 21.5 PRA, but all his lines are kind of exactly where they should be. I mean, feels weird. I haven't bet Bane in a long time, but
it's your guy, man.
Where it should be. Yeah, he is my guy, but I mean, he just hasn't been terribly consistent recently, and I've just kind of laid off. I know that he's had 2 good shooting outings in a row. I think I like him for DFS night. 28 and 24 points. I might hit that over 17.5 line. I don't know. I lost some money on him recently. I think I have to hit that 17.5 line, don't I? It's finally back down to
I think you're contractually obligated to bet over on Bane at 17.5.
Yeah, I'm hitting it. Let's see. Over on DK, Bane, going 500 on that.
I really want to get your take on the next game, SGA, like Milwaukee at OKC, 230.5. OKC, of course, 14-point dogs. SGA completely running the show, doing everything for OKC in the absence of like any competent teammates, essentially. But Milwaukee, we know about SGA driving to the basket a ton, right? That's how he kind of gets his points. Milwaukee, one of the best inside teams in the league. They'll give you the 3. SGA will shoot a 3. He's okay at it, but it's not his specialty. I
don't care. I don't care who he plays. I'm betting. So I have the over 26.5 points. I have the over 33.5 points assists. Like, I don't care. I'm betting it. I'm all on board. I'm also on the under Baisley 7.5 rebounds. RG projections really like that one. That's kind of got me onto it. But yeah, like other than that, I just really like the SGA points and points assists. Like, just keep riding it. I don't care if they don't give up anything inside. He's still going to drive the hoop. He's still going to get fouled a lot.
Would Baisley get hurt if Roby is out? Roby currently questionable.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't help him. I mean, but 7.5 rebounds is probably a little bit too high. I'm willing to just roll with it.
When I say hurt, obviously I mean the under being hurt. Of course, he would have more opportunities. Is kind of the question I was saying.
I mean, look at the last 8 games and 5, 4, 8, 2, 10, 6, 3. Like, Milwaukee's a good rebounding team. I don't really see Baisley getting there.
Man, 14-point road favorites for Milwaukee. Eesh, that's but like OKC, they're without all their guys. Well, Giddey and Ken Rich and Lou Dort, JRE, and I'm sure I missed a couple guys. Derek Favors, whatever that's worth. But yeah, if Roby doesn't go, who plays center for this team? They have Sarr, but I don't know if they would start him. Yeah, I'm just trying to think how that would work. Could they play Poku at the 5? Baisley at the 5?
Pokushevsky.
I guess that's what they would do. There you go. He's kind of fun, right? Fun to watch.
Yeah.
So you're over on SBA. Yeah. What about the alt overs?
Yeah.
You like the alt overs?
I'm worried about the blood. If I was going to do alt overs, I'm probably pairing it with OKC plus 14.5.
Interesting. Okay. I could see that.
Yeah, just
And
going
did you have
balls to
anything?
the wall. I mean,
So Giannis is going to crush here, but the line is set for him to crush. Do you have a take as far
looking
as
at
Giannis?
the line. I mean, not really. Giannis is sitting at 30.5. I honestly think the under is better just because of the potential of a blowout. It's just a big line. So I'm staying away, but if you want to bet the under, it's fine. It's not terrible. But yeah, that's
It is
kind
the
of
front
it.
end of a
That's it.
back-to-back for what it's worth. Front end of a back-to-back from Milwaukee. So like it's one of those things where maybe
Who are they playing tomorrow? I can't remember.
I can pull it up. I have it right in front of me. They play at home versus Atlanta.
Yeah, so I mean, this could be a blow-off game. Like, if it's out of hand, don't even bother with Giannis in the fourth. Yeah, that's all I got. And I got nothing on the Clippers and Golden State game.
I hate that game. I really don't. It's just two of my least favorite teams to talk about. It's a bunch of moving parts, and the Clippers.
I've lost somewhere around 20 grand this year on the Clippers.
Who's done it to you most?
Honestly, everyone. Like, I've bet a bunch on Batum, lost like every single time. I bet a bunch on Reggie Jackson. He's done all right. Marcus Morris won me a ton of money at the beginning and then lost me so much afterwards. Zubac, I've never hit right. Hartenstein, I've gotten probably 50-50, but yeah, I've just gotten crushed. And I'm like, I don't care how good of a bet or how good positive ROI. I'm just done with the Clippers.
We're assuming all the Golden State guys are going to be back tonight, right? That was all just rest with Curry and Clay.
Yeah, I'm still pissed. I would have loved to see Curry play. Like,
oh yeah, yesterday. That would have been fun. Obviously, he was in the building, right? Oh, they didn't make the trip, did they? Or was he there?
I can't even remember.
I think they might have not just kind of withheld it because I want to say it might have just been like a 1 day, like 1 game road trip, and they just kind of left them home. I think I could be wrong though. Just stay home and chill. I'm assuming those guys are back, and it's just a mishmash, right? Like, especially the Clippers side, it's just really hard to figure. And like, I feel like we should have good takes, but it's a lot of it is like in-game performance. Like, if you're playing well in the Clippers, you will get more run because a lot of these players are just kind of sort of interchangeable. And like, okay, he's hot, he's going to stay out there. This guy's rough, get him out. And we could predict a lot of things, but like opportunity is tricky. When some teams, if you're just playing bad, you're still going to play through it, and that's that. That's the way the team is set up. But the Clippers is kind of some of these guys are just kind of interchangeable. So
yeah. Brian talking about Josh Hart last night. Yeah, I mean, you both lost a minute on that.
Yeah, it was, and he was like 1 for 10 or 1 for 12 or something like he kept shooting, it just wasn't happening. And then of course they got blown out. He didn't even see the fourth quarter at all, and the back half of the third. And we lost American dollars on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That
was, I think
looking
at yesterday, what did I end up losing on the show yesterday? $3K.
Did you have Mitch Rob?
No, I didn't have Mitch Rob.
That's
he go off.
People.
Oh yeah, he got injured. He was sick in the game.
He was sick. Yeah. He got 2 quick fouls, and like I don't know if that was like he's just like I don't want to play, so I'm just gonna foul and get me out of here. And I don't think he ever came back. Like, he played 2 minutes, 2 quick fouls, and then he was ruled out for an illness. But it's one of those things.
I had the over on
play if you're sick. It's okay.
Yeah, I had the over on Randall points, rebounds, assists, both crushed. I had the over on Barrett points. I had the alt over on Barrett points that missed by 1. And I had my biggest bet was on Sabonis. Most of my bets are on
get there or not. I tried to talk you out of it. I don't remember if he was good or not. You got there?
19. And I tried to talk you out of. Yeah, he got there.
You were right about
I tried
Pirtle,
to talk you off. Yeah. Yep.
He got 2 quick fouls also for what it's worth. But yeah.
You called me like, I think I should bet Pirtle over on rebounds. I'm like, I'm going to tell you, don't do that. Do not do that. And like, I feel like he's going to have the authors. I'm like, do not do that. You do not want to do that. And lo and behold, he wasn't really even close. He ended up with 7, I think.
Well, he had 2 quick fouls. Just he started off on a bad path, but yeah, you get called by you.
Yeah. Blazers lit up your money last night, JR. Yep, they lit up mine. Bad.
So it's good to know that there's some accountability. Like, if people are watching and it's like, it's like, hey, like I'm sure on Twitter you've had somebody come at you and say, hey, terrible call on this, or like sarcastically, or maybe make fun, and they're upset. And I understand, people want to win their bets. Like, understand that like there's a really good chance you probably lost more money than that person. So maybe that makes him feel a little bit better. Like you're invested as well,
Yes. I lost over $3,000 last night. Like, yeah, I know some of the picks did not go well, and I still stand by the Josh Hart one. He just shot terrible and didn't play the fourth. Like, you don't come back from both of those things. You can come back from one of those things, but you can't come back from both. I'm trying to think of other.
I bet it again. It's the same situation. I bet I'd hammer again tonight.
Yep, absolutely. I don't know what other bets.
What's your favorite bet tonight? You have like a favorite? Anything kind of stands out for
you? Kyrie over on points. That's my 1K bet. Trying to think. Cat 30+ points. He had 27. Didn't play the fourth.
Oh, he didn't get over. That's brutal. He was so good in that game. Too good.
Yeah.
Problem. I don't know. I watched a good chunk. You were at the game, but I was watching that one, and man, he was, because I was watching Josh. I was tilting over Josh Hart the whole time, but Cat was just like a man among boys, like so good. And Pat Bev,
Isaiah Stewart got injured. That was another one. Rudy Gobert missed by 1. Like, Kevin Looney just straight up wrong there. Maxey had one of his worst outings of the year. Like, just did not go well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Maxey one we talked about yesterday is like the efficiency can't continue. And again, he probably gets.
Wait, did Maxey only lose the hook?
Oh, I think he closed strong. I feel like Maxey might have closed strong, but like.
Oh, that's gonna make me more tilted. I just gave up on it. If he missed by the hook,
I feel like he had a good fourth.
Oh, he had 17. He missed by the fudging hook.
Sometimes you just don't want to know, man.
Oh god, I had so many barely missed. Barrett missed by 1 on his all over. Cat missed by 1 3-pointer they missed at the end of the third. Like, Maxey loses by the hook. Stewart just got crushed. I mean, he got injured. Gobert missed by the hook. Like, I had a lot missed by the hook. I mean, and 3 of those that missed by the hook, like Maxey, Gobert, and whoever else I was saying, like, they all hit. That's a $3,000 swing. I break even. So that's how gambling goes.
Hey, man, sometimes you beat it by a hook, right? You got to look at it,
Yeah.
Like, in your brain, you remember the photo finishes you lose much more frequently than the ones you win.
Eubanks missed by the hook on rebounds. He was at 7 for the entire fourth quarter, and he played the entire fourth quarter. That was infuriating. Yeah, I mean, you remember it. Like, most of mine hit pretty easily, so it's always rough on those nights where you have like 80% of your wins crushed, like, and then 80% of your losses lose by the hook.
Yeah, it's not a collective, unfortunately, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. And you gotta have big picture perspective on these things. It's like sometimes you get saved by something goofy, and you feel like you deserve. Oh, I deserve that. that should have happened. No, I don't mean you. I mean like the generic you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, it just happens sometimes. But all right, we probably gotta get out of here. I need to go do some RG stuff. I've got.
I do too. We got to make some rankings for DFS, right? At least I do.
Yeah, we both got to. I've already been researching all morning. It's just preparing for this show and Discord and everything. It's a lot of work in the morning. So I got to get to that now.
What world are we in that Reggie Jackson is 8.6K on DK? That's just wild, isn't it?
Yeah, that is wild. We need to make our bet. Is there any bet that you did not like?
Well, okay, so yeah, I owe you a movie and you owe me a movie. So like, I'm so excited for you. I know we got to go. Whatever, you got to go. But you get to watch Boogie Nights, and I was talking about this on Twitter last night. And like, if like Will Smith can bust out that Mind Eraser and like zap it on me like I've never seen Boogie Nights, I would pay. I think I'd pay like hundreds of dollars for that to get to enjoy Boogie Nights for the very first time in my life. And it's also the most, in my brain, I think it's the most rewatchable movie. It's such enjoyment. Again, like just do you have a movie you can watch every, and like for whatever reason it's like the most rewatchable? Like some movies, like it's like that was really good. I don't ever want to see it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say one of those is A Knight's Tale.
The most rewatchable.
Yeah.
With Heath Ledger.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever seen A Knight's Tale. Like I'm aware of it.
Well, that's going to be our bet.
I'm aware of Black Knight with Martin Lawrence. I feel like I've seen that.
I have a soft spot for Martin Lawrence. One of my favorite comedies that's just so underrated is Blue
Mama's House.
I do like Big Mama's House, but Blue Streak is really good.
Oh man, Paul Giamatti in Big Mama's House with Martin Lawrence. Blue Streaks was one of your favorites. Who did he co-star with in that? Martin Lawrence.
It was.
I feel like I've seen it. I'm certainly aware of it. It's like a cop movie, right?
Yeah, it was Luke Wilson. That was it.
Oh, there you go.
Dave Chappelle was in it. Oh gosh, fantastic movie. Yeah, no, we need to make a bet because I want you to watch Knight's Tale. It's incredible.
I've never. Is it available on the streaming? I try to make sure like these movies. I don't want you to pay like $5-10 for it or whatever.
I mean, I don't care. Like, I have to pay for Boogie Nights. So
no, you don't. No,
yeah.
it's on multiple streaming services. I think it's on.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Hulu. I don't know if you have the streaming services, but it's on. Just here's a little. Go to justwatch.com, and you type in the movie, just so you don't have to fire up every single streaming service, and it'll tell you every place it's available and for how much. For example, I just pulled up Knight's Tale, and Knight's Tale is for Stars streaming. So I would have to pay $4 to rent it at Apple for the record.
I will send you over $4. I don't care. I want you to watch it.
I will take your $4.
It's fantastic. Like I'm going to hammer. Like I'm gonna put that. That's my like. I think you will honestly very much enjoy it. Like I think you'll love it.
Okay, so Boogie Nights is so I have the Showtime add-on on my Hulu. That's why it's available there. That's the only place it's available on DirecTV subs. I know you're probably not that. It's $3 on Apple. What is FUTO or FUBO? I don't know what that is, but
Fubo.
Yeah. If you want, I'll send you the $3 if you don't have Showtime. Whatever. But
now we'll call it good when you watch A Knight's Tale. Whenever you do.
Yeah. I have to. We both have to watch a movie though. We're both kind of like I have to watch Lord of the Rings, which is available on HBO, so I get that for free, thankfully. But are you excited about Boogie Nights? I feel like you're not excited. It's an incredible.
I'm kind of excited. It's just I'm exhausted today. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night.
Okay, well, I want you to be in a good state of mind. I don't want you to power through it. Yeah. I want you to.
Also, I had coffee for the first time in like 5 months today.
From home, or did you go like to the Starbucks?
From home.
You got that Keurig?
I got an espresso.
Oh, look at you, man. Yeah. So I guess what I was saying is we both have movies on the table, so do we have to force one out there?
Yeah,
that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, we got to force one out there.
We're gonna be back.
Do you want to take the under on Bane points?
No, because like you have good Bane mojo. What bet that you had that you were kind of throwing out there that there is something. I'm sure we disagree with something. I don't want to bet against today.
Garland.
I like Garland today. I like Durant.
Baisley, since you think Roby might play.
I like campaign over. You didn't like the under, did you? I think you.
I'll take the under on campaign.
Well, what number were we settling at? 18.5.
Let's see.
Because I know it was 17.5 to 19.5, depending on juice.
It's 18.5. 18.5 is the line with like net neutral juice. I'll take the under on that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take over 18.5 campaign points.
You have a movie for me, or do you want to decide that later on?
Have you seen The Prestige?
Yeah. Fantastic.
Awesome. Why don't we talk about The Prestige? It's such a good movie.
It's so good.
Why have people decided like collectively, let's stop. Let's pretend like this didn't happen. It's very good. You know what? I'll think about it, or maybe I'll throw something out on Twitter. If I win, I'll have the people decide. Something like that.
Good call. Yeah, Prestige only 76% by the critics, 92% by the audience. I don't know how the audience or how the critics got it so low.
It's a decent number, but yeah, it should be a little healthier. I agree with you. 76 is not bad, but yeah.
All right, we got our bet. We should probably get out of here.
All right. Yeah. Was this productive? I feel like this was productive.
Yeah, it was productive. It was fun. We got all the bets will be dropped into Discord. It looks like it's back up, but it's been fun, guys. Dean, thanks for joining me. He'll be back on again, maybe Thursday, maybe next week. I don't know.
Thursday, like I'm not inviting myself in the show, but just a heads up, there's a 2-game slate this Thursday and a 1-game slate next Thursday. So if you need somebody to bounce ideas off of or banter or argue about whatever, I'm probably
probably going to put you on Thursday and next Thursday. It might not be great, but like might not have a lot of bets, but it'll be fun. We can talk football futures.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm going to study some hand sizes.
Good call. Good call. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. It's been fun. We're out of here.